Molly Qerim's abrupt exit left her fans in shock, igniting a flurry of theories. Recently unveiled footage featuring her and Stephen A. Smith shows intense interactions that could alter the narrative. Molly is a confidant. Molly is a colleague. Molly is someone I relied on often, just as she has with me. For a decade, we've shared the spotlight on this show. Often, certain events unfold that create an awkward atmosphere. It seems Stephen is attempting to resolve the issue, but the lingering tension is palpable, making fans crave the whole story of what went on off-camera. This video may reveal everything: the startling exit and the truth of the off-screen drama. On September 15, 2025, the realm of sports media was jolted by an unprecedented upheaval when Molly Qerim, the venerable anchor of ESPN's premier debate show, abruptly announced her resignation. This was far from a typical departure. It marked a monumental change that reverberated across the sports broadcasting world, leaving fans, fellow hosts, and industry analysts in a frenzy, seeking reasons behind such a startling and unforeseen exit from a prominent role in sports media. After nearly 10 years of leading First Take and almost 2 decades with ESPN, Qerim made the astonishing choice to step away, effective immediately. The circumstances surrounding her departure were nothing short of shocking, steeped in an air of enigma. No farewell celebrations, no slow transition, just a sudden exit that is rarely seen in the realm of major TV networks. What unfolded was a stark break, leaving the public to speculate about the events that transpired behind the scenes at ESPN. The day after Qerim announced her resignation, Stephen A. Smith, her co-host and a prominent figure in sports media, addressed the pressing questions on his Sirius XM radio show. His remarks that day ignited widespread examination, interpretation, and discussion that would persist for weeks and even months ahead. The passion in Smith's voice was tangible, unmistakable, and appeared sincerely heartfelt as he discussed his ex-co-host. This was not the flamboyant, larger-than-life Stephen A. Smith that sports enthusiasts are familiar with and occasionally love to criticize. Instead, this revealed a more vulnerable, introspective, and visibly unsettled side of the often divisive analyst, clearly impacted by the abrupt changes in his work environment. Yet, as Smith pressed on, his remarks shifted to a more enigmatic, mysterious cadence, igniting a firestorm of conjecture and theories that would linger for weeks ahead. Often, certain situations unfold that feel just plain awkward to observe. The specifics, to be honest, are not for your eyes, yet I don't possess all the intricacies myself. This remark has sparked more inquiries than it resolved, leading to a void of knowledge that will swiftly be occupied by gossip, conjecture, and hints from all areas of sports journalism and social media. What did Stephen A. Smith imply when he noted that the specifics were hard to bear? What was he concealing? What insights did he possess that he chose not to disclose? And perhaps most compellingly, why was he so defensive about details that could shed light on one of the most significant narratives in sports journalism? Smith did provide some tangible information regarding Qerim's exit, yet even this information provokes as many inquiries as it clarifies. It revolved around a contract negotiation in progress. ESPN was certainly reluctant to let her go, yet in a surprising turn, she opted to leave the show immediately, as reflected in her Instagram story. Contract discussions in television can be incredibly intricate and often fraught, encompassing not only salary, but also issues like creative freedom, scheduling options, responsibilities, and career development. ESPN's desire to retain Qerim indicates that a crucial breakdown occurred in negotiations, something serious enough for her to abandon a role many in the industry view as the ultimate goal in sports broadcasting. Qerim confirmed her departure via an Instagram post, expressing appreciation to the network, fans, and colleagues for her time at ESPN, while notably refraining from detailing her reasons for leaving. She characterized her choice as hard yet essential, alluding vaguely to forthcoming endeavors and showing thankfulness for her impact on sports media. The statement exuded professionalism, courtesy, and a purposeful ambiguity, constructed in such a way that it disclosed little while seeming to convey depth. In the aftermath of Qerim's resignation, various media insights and insider perspectives began to piece together the circumstances surrounding her exit. Burke Magnus, president of ESPN Content, revealed that her departure was mutually decided due to differences in alignment and ongoing contract talks, offering her what he gracefully termed an opportunity for a fresh start beyond the network's boundaries. However, this neat and polished narrative left many feeling that the truth ran deeper than what was officially shared. Marcellus Wiley, a former ESPN analyst, unleashed some of the most shocking and insightful speculation regarding the tumultuous contract negotiations. During a discussion on his hydration-focused podcast, Wiley illustrated a narrative filled with workplace dynamics, power conflicts, and purported tensions that extended well past mere disputes over salary and contract specifics. He claimed that Qerim was seeking a significant increase from her salary range of $500,000 to $800,000, perhaps in an effort to align her pay with her worth as the host of one of ESPN's premier programs. Additionally, she seemed to be pursuing broader opportunities within the network, such as hosting her own show or taking on more high-profile roles that would highlight her skills beyond her current position on First Take. Wiley's insights take a particularly captivating and potentially explosive turn here. He claimed that Stephen A. Smith's clout at ESPN is so immense that securing his endorsement guarantees your desires are met, implying that Smith wields remarkable authority over hiring choices and contract talks at the network. The message was both clear and damaging. If Smith had wished for Qerim to receive what she sought, he could have easily facilitated it through his influence and backing. However, according to Wiley, Smith seemingly did not stand up for his co-host of a decade during these pivotal negotiations, which fueled her increasing discontent and eventually prompted her to leave ESPN for good. Wiley highlighted Qerim's deliberate exclusion of Smith from her farewell message as striking evidence of what he described as unsavory dealings occurring out of public view. As he so aptly remarked, their relationship lacked warmth, especially considering a decade of collaboration. It was striking that a person you've shared a workspace with for 10 years wouldn't even be acknowledged in your parting words. This insight struck a chord with many observers, as it seemed almost implausible that someone could work so intimately with a coworker for so long and then entirely omit them from their goodbye without major unresolved conflicts. Wiley also pointed out perceived disparities in ESPN's pay system, mentioning that figures like Mini Kim supposedly received greater compensation than Qerim, despite having less prominent roles within the network's programming. Such a comparison raised challenging questions about how ESPN assesses various talents and whether aspects beyond mere viewership and profit might be affecting their payroll choices. The situation grew more complicated as new allegations emerged, indicating a significant decline in Qerim's professional relationship with Smith in the months before her exit. A particularly harmful assertion claimed that one of Smith's superiors at ESPN never regarded her as a talent, a claim that, if accurate, would imply that Qerim faced resistance from several influential figures within the organization, rendering her role increasingly fragile irrespective of her performance or her impact on the show's success. Former ESPN host and analyst Emmanuel Aco, during an appearance on the Speakeasy podcast with hosts Kieran Hickey-Simple and LaShawn McCoy, shared his critical viewpoint on Stephen A. Smith's approach to announcing Qerim's departure. They contended that Smith exacerbated the issue by disclosing selective information regarding the suddenness of her exit and the contract disagreements, while simultaneously claiming ignorance on other matters and insisting on confidentiality. They described his remarks as inconsistent, overly theatrical, and ultimately enhancing public fascination and conjecture, rather than offering clarity or allowing Qerim to shape her own story as she progressed in her career. Yet, Stephen A. Smith wasn't finished with his commentary. In what many viewed as a larger philosophical reflection on the sports media landscape, which appeared to be clearly aimed, at least in part, at his previous co-host scenario, Smith presented an extensive discourse on influence, worth, and recognizing one's role within the media landscape. This segment would go on to be one of the most scrutinized and discussed of his entire career. The takeaway was apparent. Succeeding in sports media demands not only skill, but also dedication, perseverance, and crucially, a precise grasp of one's market worth and negotiation stance. Smith was merely beginning what would evolve into a sharply critical analysis of contract talks, leverage, and the truths of the television landscape. During this lengthy discourse, Smith made it clear that he was not referring to Molly with his comments, a rhetorical strategy that deceived no one, subsequently revealing to all present that he was indeed addressing Molly and her exit from First Take at ESPN. This assertion particularly resonated with many as telling and potentially insightful regarding Smith's perspective on Qerim's negotiation strategy and her choice to leave ESPN. The underlying suggestion was that while Qerim might have felt entitled to a specific pay scale or certain prospects within the network, she fell short in terms of leverage, be it audience appeal, revenue impact, or other job opportunities essential for effectively asserting those demands to ESPN management. To grasp the significance and the shock surrounding Molly Qerim's departure from First Take, one must first appreciate the extraordinary on-air synergy and professional rapport that she fostered with Stephen A. Smith over their 10-year partnership. The intricate background and on-screen synergy that defined First Take is crucial for CTV. In September 2015, Qerim became the program's permanent host, taking on the challenge of moderating intense discussions among assertive voices while offering her own insights and views on the sports issues at hand. By the time Qerim assumed hosting responsibilities, Smith had already become a prominent figure, known for his controversial take, having led the show since 2012. Right from the start, their on-screen interaction was marked by authentic chemistry, a natural connection, and a playful dialogue, giving their exchanges an organic feel rather than a contrived one. Throughout their collaboration, Smith has frequently lauded Qerim, referring to her as both a colleague and a friend. Lean Dawn deserves recognition for her pivotal influence in propelling the show to a new level of popularity and cultural significance. Those who regularly tuned into First Take couldn't miss the electric chemistry between Smith and Qerim. Their interactions were filled with a vibrant mix of humor, sharp wit, and a fierce competitiveness that captivated audiences. A standout moment that showcased their unique on-air relationship was when Qerim took issue with Smith's view of her athletic skills, resulting in a rapid virality on social media. The playful banter escalated in humor and fervor, as Qerim, clearly irked by Smith's seeming lack of regard for her abilities and drive, issued an undeniable challenge to her co-host's physical strength and resilience. This was truly a television gem, unscripted, engaging, and illuminating the deep rapport that Qerim and Smith had built over many years of close collaboration. Another memorable instance in their dynamic occurred when they passionately debated basketball, with Qerim impressively holding her ground against one of the sport's most astute and vocal analysts. While discussing the Boston Celtics and their chances for a title, she candidly shared that she often texted Smith during games, boldly forecasting outcomes and teasing him about his commentary when her predictions proved right from 0 to 9 to 0 to 32. I'm just checking right here because Kinder Perkins and Jay Williams. I'm just looking right here. I'm trying to find this message from Molly. Just a couple of days back, while the game was on, she unleashed a tirade on me. The Celtics were on track to win, and she exclaimed that the celebration was finished. On the evening of June 8th, Smith began to share Qerim's text messages, laying bare her newfound confidence and, at times, arrogance regarding her basketball forecasts, not hesitating to challenge her well-known co-host when she thought he missed the mark. Qerim reacted to the airing of her private messages on national television with her usual sharp wit and humility, although she maintained her critical view of Smith's basketball commentary. Such moments of lighthearted disputes and spirited exchanges manifested repeatedly, embodying the dynamic that rendered first take captivating. Smith often referred to their relationship as akin to that of siblings, where they could engage in teasing, challenge one another, and occasionally irritate each other, all while upholding a deep-seated respect and professional admiration. Yet, despite the outward strength of their relationship and the palpable on-air chemistry, there were subtle hints over time suggesting that the backdrop might not have been as harmonious as presented. Instances that once came off as friendly jabs have been re-evaluated in retrospect, leading some to consider them as indicators of real friction or unease, especially following Qerim's sudden exit and the context surrounding it. A notable incident took place in June 2025, merely months prior to Qerim's departure, when she cut off Smith mid-sentence to stop him from possibly revealing private messages during the broadcast. Initially, this moment went largely unnoticed, seen as just Qerim exercising control over the show and upholding professional limits. However, in retrospect, some analysts have proposed that her interruption hinted at increasing unease regarding Smith's inclination to merge their personal and professional boundaries on air. Former ESPN analyst Marcellus Wiley remarked on his podcast that the depth of Smith and Qerim's collaborative bond may not have been as solid as it seemed in the recent past. Wiley highlighted Qerim's deliberate exclusion of Smith from her farewell Instagram post as telling evidence of hidden tensions that had seemingly been kept from the public throughout their collaboration. The speculation regarding any romantic inclinations or profound personal ties between Smith and Qerim, apart from their work collaboration, has circulated since Qerim joined First Take in 2015. This buzz intensified after Qerim's divorce from ex-NBA player Jalen Rose in 2021, leading gossip sites and social media users to ponder if their on-screen rapport had blossomed into more than mere professional camaraderie. The situation gained traction when, in late 2021, former NBA player Kwame Brown, embroiled in a heated feud with Stephen A. Smith, publicly accused Smith of having an affair with Qerim while she was still married to Rose. Brown made these claims in a viral video, suggesting insider knowledge circulated in NBA circles about Smith's alleged infidelity. Throughout the years, both Smith and Qerim have firmly and consistently dismissed these romantic allegations, with Smith maintaining that their relationship is entirely platonic and professional. In April 2024, the two co-hosts confronted ongoing rumors during a First Take episode after guest Chris Mad Dog Russo joked about their outfits looking like wedding attire. Smith took this chance to label the rumors as outright lies that had plagued them for years, expressing his annoyance with the constant speculation regarding his dynamic with his co-host. Jalen Rose has also commented on the affair rumors multiple times, most notably in a 2022 interview with GQ, where he deemed the gossip absurd and shared how he, Qerim, and Smith had all privately laughed off the claims. Rose stressed in that interview that his divorce from Qerim was solely due to the difficulties of managing demanding careers in sports media, not because of any cheating or improper relations with his First Take colleagues. Nevertheless, the rumors have continued and even escalated after Qerim's sudden departure in September 2025. Speculation among social media enthusiasts suggests that a secret romance gone awry could clarify the abruptness of her exit and the noticeable chill in her rapport with Smith. Many believe that if they had been romantically linked and that bond turned sour, it might have rendered their collaboration uncomfortable. To add further intrigue, in January 2025, Nikita Pearson surfaced claiming to be Stephen A. Smith's girlfriend and alleging that Molly Qerim spread false sexual assault allegations about him. Pearson's YouTube video, lacking verification from trustworthy sources, also claimed Qerim sought a romantic connection with Smith, assertions that both Smith and Qerim have not commented on publicly, keeping them in the realm of speculation. While the ongoing rumors persist, there remains no definitive proof of a romantic link between Stephen A. Smith and Molly Qerim, either in the past or the present. Nevertheless, it is clear that they fostered a distinctive and valuable professional relationship that contributed significantly to the success of First Take, one of the most impactful sports shows in recent years. On a personal note, both Smith and Qerim have maintained a low profile regarding their romantic experiences, although snippets have surfaced over time via interviews and public comments. Smith, born in '67, has shared in several discussions that he has 2 daughters and has never tied the knot, maintaining a reputation for being highly discreet about his personal connections and family matters. Qerim, born in '84, was publicly wed to Jalen Rose from 2018 until their divorce was finalized in 2021. She has been notably candid about her health challenges, especially her ongoing fight against severe endometriosis, which she disclosed on First Take in 2024, leveraging her platform to shed light on a condition impacting countless women, often overlooked and inadequately addressed. The consequences, potential future effects, and implications for sports media. On October 1st, 2025, Molly Qerim resurfaced in the media spotlight following her departure from ESPN, signaling her commitment to remain active in the sports media landscape despite the turbulent circumstances surrounding her exit from First Take. She is leading a Quandis session with UConn men's basketball head coach Dan Hurley at the University of Connecticut's Student Union Theater in Storrs, Connecticut. This gathering aims to spotlight Hurley's new book, Never Stop: Life, Leadership, and What It Takes to Be Great, which he co-wrote with the esteemed sports journalist Ian O'Connor. Although these reports lack confirmation, sources indicate that Qerim's upcoming role with Fox Sports could see her covering NFL games, college football programming, and major NCAA basketball events, potentially taking on hosting responsibilities for Fox's broader programming. This transition marks a notable shift from the debate-centric format that brought her fame, allowing her to explore diverse facets of her broadcasting skills and engage with new audiences who might not have regularly tuned into First Take during her time at ESPN. Various sources have described ESPN's dealings with Qerim as dismissive, implying that the network's handling of her contract renewal played a vital role in her choice to leave a role regarded by many as one of the most coveted and prominent hosting positions in sports broadcasting. This stark critique, together with Smith's continual assertion during the discussion that he wasn't referring to Molly in his comments, led many to believe he was actually reflecting on the failures that occurred in Qerim's contract discussions and why she ended up lacking the influence needed to obtain her desired terms from ESPN. The manner of Qerim's exit from First Take, coupled with her intentionally ambiguous public remarks that noticeably omitted any reference to Stephen A. Smith, indicates that there is likely much more to the narrative than has been publicly shared. Past colleagues and industry watchers have highlighted these gaps and the suddenness of her departure as signs of deeper issues and tensions that surpass mere contract conflicts. Speculation regarding the reasons for Qerim's exit has varied, from the idea that she may have wished for Smith to be a more assertive ally during contract talks, to the notion that she possibly harbored resentment over the substantial contract extension Smith received from ESPN himself. Some analysts have speculated that Qerim might perceive the gulf between her pay and Smith's as indicative of a deeper undervaluation of her role in the show's achievements, especially considering her decade-long presence on First Take. Complicating matters further, Qerim disclosed in her farewell statement that her exit announcement had been leaked by someone at ESPN before she intended to share it herself. This untimely revelation clearly distressed Qerim and intensified an already tumultuous departure, hinting at a deterioration of professional relationships that went beyond her collaboration with Stephen A. Smith, potentially involving ESPN executives and other staff members. Discussions on Reddit regarding this scenario have been particularly vibrant and illustrative of the diverse opinions surrounding the dynamics between Smith and Qerim. On the RNBA subreddit, a thread concerning her exit gained over 2,000 upvotes and 673 comments, where users fervently speculated about the possibility of romantic ties, workplace conflicts, or mere contractual issues as reasons for her abrupt departure from ESPN on First Take. A particularly remarked-upon comment in the thread resonated with numerous fans, stating that Stephen Smith has deserved more respect over the years. It implied that many viewers of First Take perceive Qerim as having faced challenging work conditions or a lack of recognition during her 10 years spent alongside one of the most formidable and influential figures in sports media. On the platform X, formerly known as Twitter, the responses have varied from expressions of regret over the conclusion of the Smith-Qerim collaboration to theories concerning the real events that transpired behind the scenes at ESPN. One user pointed to the coincidence of Smith mentioning his girlfriend on air soon after Qerim left, describing it as somewhat amusing and hinting at its possible links to ongoing speculation about their relationship. Other social media users expressed a wish to have been privy to any private discussions or disputes that may have taken place between Smith and Qerim, underscoring the strong public interest in the personal and professional relationship that eventually led to the breakup of one of sports television's most iconic and celebrated partnerships. Moving forward, the resolution of this matter is likely to have far-reaching consequences not only for Qerim and Smith as individuals, but also for the wider dynamics of sports media and the nature of talent negotiations at major networks. Should Qerim secure a substantial contract with Fox Sports or another prominent media outlet, it would affirm her choice to leave ESPN and might encourage fellow sports media figures to assert themselves when they experience a lack of appreciation or value from their employers. On the other hand, if Qerim finds it challenging to discover positions that provide comparable or better benefits than those she received at ESPN, it could validate Stephen A. Smith's insights on the importance of assessing one's market worth and the risks of making bold contract choices. The sports media field will keenly observe the results of Qerim's next career step, viewing it as a potential example of the dangers and benefits associated with stepping away from a celebrated role in search of improved pay or working conditions. The end of their partnership, marked not by a tribute to a decade of achievements, but instead by ambiguity, speculation, and visible tension, signifies a regrettable finish to what could have been celebrated as one of the most noteworthy alliances in sports broadcasting. Regardless of the full circumstances surrounding the conflicts between Stephen A. Smith and Molly Qerim, whether rooted in contractual issues, workplace stresses, personal disagreements, or a blend of these factors, it underscores the reality that even the most successful collaborations can dissolve into turmoil when egos, financial considerations, power struggles, and personal emotions clash in the high-stakes realm of television. What do you think about Molly Qerim leaving? Let us know in the comments and tap on the cards appearing on your screen for additional content.